Child, why I was sitting there talking to y'all this whole time? I was sitting there backstage talking to y'all this whole time. What's up, y'all? Hey, like I said, the notification probably rolling out slow because it's my third time live today. But we're going to go ahead. I'm trying to get caught up on my reviews. So we're going to go ahead and thug it out and do Love and Marriage Huntsville tonight. Tomorrow, I guess we'll get caught up on Dubai. And then I have to do my uploads. I have Power, House on Fire, Chasing Dallas. And then I'll be up to date. I think that's it. I think I'll be up to date. So let's get into this episode. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I feel like this whole episode, they was playing in my face. I feel like they was playing in my face this whole episode. With that being said, we start this episode off. We have Nell and we have Chris down to the office talking. So the first thing they talk about is the fact that Chris is getting ready to show Martel's house to Sonny and Moses. First of all, let me just go ahead and tell y'all, I'm sick of this whole Sonny and Moses storyline. I'm sick of it. Because they still lying. What's in my hair? Because they still lying. Oh, Lord. Okay, boo. They still lying. But we're going to get to the lie. They told a big old lie at the end when they were at dinner with Cammy and Maurice. Well, it just did not consistent. Anyway. So, Nell was like, did you talk to Destiny about that? Now, Chris, stop playing with me, Chris. You know exactly why everybody keeps asking you, did you talk to Destiny? You said that you feel like Destiny is like a little sister to you, right? You feel like Destiny, you call her your little sister. So nobody is saying that you had to ask for Destiny's permission. What they're saying is, did you give Destiny the courtesy of a phone call? Hey, Chuck Boo. Did you give her the courtesy of calling saying, hey, girl, I know this Sonny Moses situation is messy as HE double hockey sticks. But you know, I'm a realtor. This is what I do. This is my business. They said that they looking for property. I just want to give you the heads up so you don't find out somewhere else. But I'm going to show them Martel's house. Now, Destiny going to probably still feel some kind of way about it. But I would much rather hear about it from you, the person that calls me their little sister, than on the streets. So, Chris, stop acting like you don't understand why they're asking you, did you talk to Destiny? Because for Martel to say the same thing, and we know Martel don't care about nobody's feelings but his own. So for Martel to say it later on in the episode, stop playing with me. We get it. That's your job. But you're not the only realtor in Huntsville. And the commission off that little low house that Martel's selling ain't enough to mess up no friendship over. But again, if you want to show him the house, that's fine. But stop acting like you don't understand why people keep asking you this question. Okay? You know Martel probably told as soon as he got in his car. As soon as production said, all right, y'all, that's a wrap. Baby, he was on the phone with Destiny. Anyway. So then Nell starts talking about she want to talk to him about the situation with the kids and the money. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all something. Let me go ahead and tell y'all something. Now, y'all know I didn't watch last season, so y'all got to let me know. Is that Nell's normal? Give me a second. I'm listening. I mean, I'm still talking, y'all, but hold on. Is that Nell's normal, like, affect? Because she's sounding real. Either she's just got, like, anxiety about this whole situation, or she making this whole situation up. Let me tell you why I say that. Because it's like she couldn't remember what she wanted to say. It's like she was indecisive about what she was trying to tell Chris. It didn't make no sense. You said that, you know, we got to talk about these kids and them always asking for money. First of all, it sounds like the kids are asking you for money. It don't sound like they don't sound like they're asking Chris for money. It sounds like they're asking you for money. You know why they're asking you for money? Because clearly you don't know how to say no. And Chris sound like he know how to say no. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The story didn't ring true for me because you couldn't even tell it. You couldn't get through the story. And if the story is true, this is what I don't understand. Why is it so hard for y'all to just say no? These are some grown-ass kids that clearly can get up every day and go out and do whatever they got to do, and they can't even pay their own phone bill. They calling you to pay their cell phone bill? And at the beginning, you made it seem like we just need to put some boundaries in place. We need to put some parameters in place. But then at the end of the episode, you said you had to get out of debt. So which one is it, Nell? Is it that, are you loaning them money you can't afford to give? Are you loaning Nell? And first of all, let's stop using the word loan, because clearly it ain't no loan. You wouldn't be this worried if it was a loan. Clearly you just giving them money, and they might be promising to pay you back, but clearly they're not doing that either. Okay, so let's go ahead and start and call a thing a thing. You giving these grown ass kids money. Grown ass kids money. Now, can I just see, this is what I be talking about? Didn't 2 episodes ago, when Nell had that birthday party, did she say the kids threw her that party? Or am I remembering wrong? Or did she say the kids threw her that party? What up, Cajun? Right, y'all. And don't get me wrong, kids get in trouble. Like, listen, there's nothing wrong, because I ain't gonna tell y'all no lies and say I ain't never had to call my parents after I call myself having a real job and living on my own. Sometimes stuff happens, right? I'm not gonna sit here and tell no lies and say I ain't never had to call my mom and my daddy for a loan. But first of all, it was a loan, I paid it back. And second of all, it was few and far in between. It wasn't no every time. I saw it, Cajun. I saw it, boo. It wasn't no every single time, like every month roll around, here go my bill money. No. So something in this story just don't make sense to me. Are you giving them money you can't afford to give, Nell, or are you just making this up to have a storyline? But neither here nor there. Chris said they can have a family meeting to discuss it. Okay. Next, we have the scene with why did you do the Noel? I'm going to call my mom. Huh? What you say, Cajun? I don't know what you're talking about. I know you're trolling me, but I don't get it. Why didn't you do the Noel? I'm going to call my mom. Child. And listen, I call my mama all the time. Right. She knows that she can call. Exactly. So, Chris gets to the house with Martel. Chris, this is how I know you wrong. Chris Fletcher. Chris. What up, St. James, boo? I was in your bushes last night. Well, actually, I came down to say hi. But I was over there last night listening to y'all cut up, you and Jesse, and over there cutting up, child. I was over there. This how I know you wrong. Because you wouldn't tell Martel who the people were coming to see the house. You wouldn't tell Martel who the people were coming to see the house. See, if you didn't think you was doing nothing shady or doing nothing wrong, then why, when Martel asked who the people were and where they were from, why you talking in code? Oh, well, I don't know. I'm not sure if they buying. Well, I don't know. I think they from out of town. I think they from St. Louis. Sir, you knew exactly who was coming. You knew where they was coming from, and you knew what they was looking for. Stop playing with me, Chris Fletcher. That's how I know you were wrong. And that's how I know you should have called Destiny and told Destiny you was showing them people that house. Again, didn't have to ask her permission. You did not have to ask her permission, but a courtesy phone call would have been appreciated. They need to go ahead and cancel the show because the drama seems fake and just name it. It does. Right. Why was Martel there? He's the builder. He don't have nothing to do with the sale of that house. His job is done. He built the house. Chris is listing the house. All Martel need to know is if he sold it and when the check gonna be cut. You absolutely correct, Chuck. Martel didn't have no reason to be there. Since when is the builder at a showing, at a listing? And Chris Fletcher, you ain't sound like you was really trying to sell that house. You ain't give me no square footage. You didn't talk about the floors, the marbling. You didn't talk about, you was like, yeah, so you see the vaulted ceilings. I could do that, sir. I see the vaulted ceilings. Talk about a sunken in tub, a standalone shower. And then you call, you know how I really know that you old school, Chris? You know how I really know that you old school and how you was showing these people this house that we know they ain't about to buy? Because you called the primary bedroom a master. They don't use that terminology anymore in the world of real estate. They do not call it a master bedroom anymore, okay? They call it the primary suite or the primary bedroom. Sonny and Moses. Sonny and Moses. First of all, y'all know good and damn well y'all ain't about to buy that house. Let's just start there and work our way back. Second of all, what you had on, Sonny? Right, there you go, St. James. That is my real estate expert. He said, yes, you are right. Sonny, what the hell you have on? See, you can tell that Sonny went out and bought a whole wardrobe just to film this show. She just knows she doing it. She just knows she fly. Did you see them damn boots she got on all the way up to her thigh? Ma'am, you are not Mary J. Blige. That is not your ministry. Don't wear them boots no more. You really thought you was turning it. Yana said they do not. We are actually looking at houses now, and it is definitely primary. Right. Even on Airbnb, if you go look at Airbnb listings, the newer listings, like people who just listed their house on Airbnb recently, they don't even use that terminology anymore. They use primary bedroom. Talking about something, this the master suite. What? But you a broker. You really trying to sell these people that house. So we see them with this house that we know good and daggone well they ain't buying. Okay, we know they ain't buying this house. Then they start talking about them wanting to raise children and have babies and stuff. And let me tell you something. Sonny, if you had the attitude that you had in this conversation with Martel and Chris, if you had came with that same energy at the beginning of this episode that you came with in this episode, I might not even have so much smoke for you, because you were like, I understand why Destiny's upset. I understand her feeling the way she feels, but da-da-da-da-da. But that ain't how you came in that first episode when you was at the podcast with Carlos King. You came with attitude. You act like Destiny stole your man instead of the other way around. You act like Destiny stole your man instead of the other way around. Timeline is moving again. You know what, Chuck? I done beat that timeline up like Mike Tyson in the 90s. It's done. It's dead. Okay. There's nothing more to do with that timeline. If anybody out here still believe that there was no overlap, and when this woman met this man and started dating, if I don't know what else to tell y'all. We have beat that timeline. And I got another one for you, Chuck. You hold on. I'm gonna wait till we get there. But I caught another one tonight, and I'm gonna see if y'all caught it too. I caught another one. But let's keep it moving. Timeline ain't gonna never matter, because it was a lie. Exactly. The timeline ain't gonna never be timelining, because it was all a lie. Then they're going to say that house was $340,000. First of all, why is Martel giving them the price? Again, Martel, you are the builder. You are the builder. You and Chris set the price point, I'm sure. But first of all, if y'all think that I think that house is $340,000 in motherfreaking Huntsville, Alabama, I know I got something to sell you. I know I got a house to sell you in Huntsville, Alabama. If that house was $340,000 in Huntsville, Alabama, that house, Melody's house probably ain't but $500,000 in Huntsville, Alabama, and Melody got a damn mini mansion. Now I am no listen. I know I don't sell no property. But did y'all see that house? And it's a cute house. Don't get me wrong. It's a cute starter house. It's a very cute house, and it's a cute starter house. It's ain't nothing wrong with that house. Now I ain't saying that, but $340,000. And now if they was in DC, Maryland, Atlanta, maybe even Atlanta, I don't know, Huntsville, Alabama, I would want to know. I would be interested to know how much Melody's house was, because I'm certain that Melody's house ain't more than 500,000, maybe 600,000, maybe 600,000. So you mean to tell me that house that Melody got up on that hill with the 2-car garage and the driveway and all that other stuff Melody got going on in that beautiful house she has, you mean to tell me that house is only $100,000 to $200,000 more than that little starter house that Martel done built? Stop playing with me. $360,000. I know you better get out my face. I don't care if Melody written by. I don't care. I'm talking about whatever that house is worth. I don't care. My house is 2 times the size and more updated. It didn't cost that, and I'm in Metropolitan. There you go. Houses are high. That's what they are running. I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and my daughter's house is $300K for a starter house. Moving right along. So Martel go down to Stormy's warehouse, child. And listen. Martel and Stormy, they talk about the fact that both of them got arrested for making verbal threats, child. I don't care nothing about that. Because I don't think it's the same. I'm not going to compare Stormy's situation to Martel's situation. It's apples to oranges. What we are going to talk about is that Martel finally admitted that he absolutely does know this woman, okay? Martel finally admitted that him and this woman hung out together and it didn't have nothing to do with his brother, okay? Martel finally admitted that girl done came over his house, but he claimed ain't nothing happened. But then he went on and he going to tell production. Production said that were you interested in her? And he said, I was interested enough to slide into her DMs and invite her over to my house to see what could happen. So what I'm supposed to remember, what we supposed to believe, what we're supposed to believe is that you knew this woman, but then you slid into her DMs. But ain't nothing happened. But you pretended like you didn't even know her when y'all walked in. When you stop playing with me. See, that's what I'm saying. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Now, I ain't saying that the two of them did the do. I don't know. I don't know what they done did. But all of this, you done drug this whole storyline out for the last 4 episodes. You done drug this out from damn near the first episode until now about Martel and this woman and what this lady knew and what this lady did not know. You done drug this whole storyline out. Just for Martel to be like, yeah, we hung out a couple of times. She came through the crib. If nothing happened, then why all of this? Why? Ugh. Y'all, I'm sick of them. Now I'm going to tell you what I think. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think the storyline. I think it's all fake, y'all. I'm sorry. Here's why I just think it's fake. Is because neither one of them are good actors. Martel ain't a good actor, and she not a good actor. Like, she didn't even act like she was mad when Martel didn't act like he knew her. Stormy was the one that was like, oh my gosh, this is so awkward. Oh my goodness, this is so awkward. Girl. And then even when every time Martel tried to tell the story, Martel is just evasive. You know, almost like he done forgot to say what he had to say. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. Because the other thing I'm going to say too is, then who went to production? Thank you, Life at the Estate. Then who went to production? Because clearly somebody on production knew that they knew each other. Who went to production? Did Martel go to production? Did she reach out to production and say, hey, I know some people on the cast? Or was it just a coinky dink that Carlos King decides to bring this couple on the show? I guess to replace Tiffany and Lewis. For what? What would their storyline be if we didn't have this bullshit question mark of a situation between her and Martel? What would their storyline be? So I'm going to be honest with y'all. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that her and Martel really did. I just don't believe it. Now, do I believe that she knows Martel's brother? Yeah, I do believe that. Because it is a small world. You know, I believe that now that I believe. But I believe that's where the story begins and ends. I believe that's where the story begins and ends. Now, in the previews for next week, I'm more interested in now we finally meeting the ex-husband, and I'm more interested in this story than I care about this whole thing with Martel. Because let's be clear about the situation. We know Martel is a hoe. We know that Martel is a hoe. So you bringing somebody else on the show that allegedly slept with Martel. Did you think that was going to satisfy the fans that want to see Coleslaw? Now, I'm not one of those fans, let's be clear. I don't want to see Coleslaw. I could care less about Coleslaw and Coleslaw's storyline, okay? But, I mean, was that supposed to satisfy the people that wanted them to bring one of Martel's mistresses on the show? I could see her and Stormy talking, and Stormy mentioned it to production. I could see that. Now, Life at the Estate, I could see that. I could absolutely see this being something that production mentioned. And let me say this too, and shout out to Winter. I was over in Winter's chat the other day, and Winter was talking about this episode, and she brought something to my attention that I probably would have missed, because a lot of times I'm multitasking when I'm watching these shows, and I'm doing stuff on the computer, and I'm not always looking at the screen. But she brought something to my attention. Did y'all notice during Sonny and Moses' confessional, when Moses was giving his sob story about how he just want a better place for his kids, he want to find a nice place to raise his kids? They were going through this whole thing where he was talking about how life is hard in St. Louis and he don't want to have to look over his shoulder. Did y'all pay attention to the fact that Sonny was mouthing it as he was saying it, as if it was a rehearsed line? I must have rehearsed my line 1,000 times until I had them memory. Did y'all peep it? I said, she sure is. I was watching it. She sure was. She was saying, now she was very discreet. You had to be watching the screen, but her mouth was absolutely moving. I said, ain't this some shit? They sitting here got rehearsed confessionals. Kitty, you say it happens all the time? That was my first time catching it. The storms knocked out your Wi-Fi. Damn. Be safe, baby. Charge up your stuff. Be safe. I mean, I shouldn't say charge. Save your battery. I said, damn it. So now we get to this scene You played it 2 times. I did too, Miss Carter. I rewound it too. I rewound it too. Now, Maurice and Kimmy are having dinner with Sonny and Moses. And Kimmy says she feels some kind of way about it because she does feel funny, almost like she might even be sort of, maybe betraying Destiny a little bit. Listen, Destiny understand you doing your job. Destiny knows that you doing your job, girl. Because Destiny only here for the paycheck too. Destiny is here to get this paycheck. Because ain't no other way in the world where I would put myself through the shit that she put herself through for this little. She must need the money. Sonny is producer herself in the show and all these interviews. She sure is, LB. Now here's the other lie that I picked up on. Now y'all might need to help me because I might have it wrong. So y'all make sure y'all help me. Didn't Sonny and Moses say they dated for 3 weeks before they got married? They met, allegedly they reconnected in July. Allegedly they reconnected in July. Right? First of all, something else I caught too. I caught 2 things. But somebody, y'all answer that question for me, please. Did they say they were dating for 3 weeks and then they got married? That they were together for 3 weeks and then they got married? Or they were together for 3 months and then they got married? Somebody help me out with that one real quick. Help me out with that one. And then I'm going to tell y'all the 2 things that I caught in this episode as far as this bull hockey. Destiny's checks better be good. They ain't that damn good. Remember, Winter told us that Carlos will be paying them people nothing. They ain't good enough for this shit. I know that. Okay, they said 3 months. Okay, 3 months. 3 months. Okay. Three months. Okay. So first of all, 2 things I picked up on. The first thing I picked up on was, did y'all hear when Sonny said to Chris, the first time I met him, I said he gonna be my husband? I'm sorry, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear her say that? Did y'all hear her say that? She said the first time I met him, I knew he was gonna be my husband. Do y'all remember her saying that to Chris when they was looking at that Matchbox house? That's not right. That wasn't nice. I'm gonna rewind it. Let me rewind it. That wasn't nice to call that house no Matchbox house. It's a cute house. The house is very cute. Now, didn't Sonny and Destiny admit that they all went out on a double date when Destiny was still dating that man? Did they not go out on a double date? Remember, Destiny said for her birthday, did they not all hang out together? And Destiny said that it was her and Moses, and it was somebody else there, and then it was Sonny and some guy, I guess the guy that Sonny was dating. So you tell me that the first time you saw that man, you knew he was going to be your husband, but the first time you saw that man, he was with Destiny. See, y'all got to remember what y'all saying. You got to remember the lies that y'all telling. You said tonight, well, it wasn't tonight's episode, but I watched it tonight. You said the first time you saw that man, you knew he was going to be your husband. But last week at the romance of the February, the Galentine's event, you said that y'all all went out on the whole little double date together. Then you said you just started your second round of IVF, and y'all started IVF before y'all even got married. So you mean to tell me in a 3-month window, and I know shit moves fast. I know. It was Destiny's birthday party. Thank you, LB. You mean to tell me in a 3-month window, you met this man, y'all started having sex, you decided you wanted kids, you couldn't conceive, you went to the doctor, because she said when she went to the doctor and found out, which means that, first of all, y'all making me go too deep. First of all, either you already knew that you couldn't have that it would be hard for you to have children, because no doctor is going to put you on IVF after only trying for 3 months. Ain't nobody going to put you through no IVF after. Do you all know? For the people in the chat who know people who have been through IVF, do you know how evasive people make IVF seem like it's easy? It's not. IVF is not an easy process, and it's not a cheap process. First of all, it's a whole lot of testing that has to happen before you start IVF. That's not no easy thing. That is not something that you just say, oh, I want to have IVF. A doctor, at least not a doctor worth his weight and worth his degree, is not going to just jump up and start doing IVF off of a 3-month relationship. The doctor going to be like, I mean, do you know how many people don't conceive after 3 months? You got to give it some time. And then they're going to do some tests because they want to find out, is it you? Is it him? Is it his sperm count? Is it your eggs? Are there different things that we can do that can change it before we go there? And then IVF is very evasive. That is not an easy decision. People make it seem like it's like, oh, I just had IVF. Baby, I have friends that went through IVF. First of all, it's expensive as hell, and your insurance does not cover a lot of it. Unless you got some real good insurance. Now, there are some policies that will cover a lot of it, but the average insurance, baby, you coming out your pocket with a lot of money. I have friends that have gone into their 401ks. Okay? So the fact that you met this man, according to your timeline, you dated him for 3 months and you already started IVF, that don't even make no damn sense. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. I said evasive. I said invasive. Thank you, Cajun. I was saying evasive, wasn't I? Y'all know what I meant. Invasive. You know. But I'm listening and I'm like, I try not to be too, I promise y'all, I try not to be dissecting this stuff like this. But they forced me to do this. Okay, Sweet Pea said her job covered 80%. And even at 80%, you came out of your pocket with a lot of money. Did you not? You ain't got to put the amount in the chat, but you even with 80%, you came out your pocket with a lot of money, didn't you? Sometimes Brianna said it takes 1 month just to get an appointment. It's just not that easy. So now y'all got IVF. Child. And then you sitting there talking about you went to jail and, well, I mean, I know they'll understand because I know Maurice, his life was rough. He came from Detroit, and Kimmy, she from Baltimore. And, I was in jail with a lot of people from Baltimore and a lot of people from Detroit. So I know it's rough where they come from. So don't be trying to justify your life of bad decisions because Kimmy and Maurice came from the places where you deem are bad. Let's be clear. Baltimore and Detroit, yes, there's some parts. But you don't know what part Maurice did tell you where he came from. Kimmy ain't say where she came from. We don't know what part of Baltimore Kimmy from. We don't know what side of the city Kimmy lived in. Right, and she said they're on their second round. Talking about some, this nigga done 15 years in jail in his life, and he in his 30s. He done spent half of his life in jail. And y'all fighting over him? This what we doing? And that's no disrespect to anybody that went to jail. I'm not saying that just because you went to jail make you a bad person. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm talking about this situation right here. Don't make it about you. Don't make it about you. I'm talking about this person in this situation right here. This man has spent half of his life in jail, prison. But you have your own trucking company and you own real estate. All of it, Xavier. Xavier said, which part do you think they're lying about? The IVF or the dating? Both. First of all, the timeline just ain't timelining. That's number one. The timeline just ain't timelining. So I do not believe that the story went the way they said it went. Do I think that they're legitimately in a relationship? Yeah, I do. I think they really together. I don't think that's made up. But I do not believe the storyline of when they started dating. The timeline ain't timelining. And I do not think that they may be doing IVF now, but I do not think they were doing IVF the way she said they were doing it. You see what I'm saying? Do I think they started doing IVF within 3 months of them dating? Hell no. Because, again, any reputable OBGYN or, again, whatever doctor handles that child, I don't know. I never tried to reproduce, so I don't know. But there's no reputable doctor that is going to start you on IVF that quickly. 3 months? 3 months? Guys, it was all a lie. Exactly, Yana. Did y'all remember on Real Housewives of Potomac this last season where old girl, the lawyer, the new girl this season went to the doctor and they had been trying for like a year. And he said, well, I think we need to keep trying for a little bit longer before we start anything. And they've been trying for like a year. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this situation. I don't know if Carlos was so desperate that he felt like he had to contrive this, because if you pay attention, have y'all, Neka, that's her name, thank you. If y'all pay attention to this whole season, we are in episode 10. And this is only the second time we've seen Maurice. Third, well, I mean, in a scene outside of a group scene. We saw him at Nell's birthday party, but we saw him when him and Marcel went to go talk to Martel on the first episode, right? We saw him when him and Moses were down at Black and him and Marcel were talking to Moses. And then we saw him when they had the double date with Marcel and Tisha. This is only the third. Well, I just said four. You don't count Nell's party. That was a group scene. Marcel and Tisha. We ain't seen Marcel and Tisha since 2 episodes ago after Nell's party when Tisha got mad at Marcel because her ass got drunk. Like, Melody wasn't even in this episode at all. This whole season has been about Sonny, Moses, and Ken and Barbie. And we don't care about neither one of them stories. You really tried to make us care about Ken and Barbie and Martel, and we don't. Let's be clear. I don't give a damn about nothing dealing with Martel. I promise you I don't. And honestly, I'm not mad that we didn't really get a lot of Maurice and Kimmy, because y'all already know how I felt about Maurice and that whole situation. That's why I stopped watching the damn show. Because of that whole situation with Maurice when Kimmy was sick and his ass still want her to roll over and give it to him good. I told y'all that's when I walked away. That is when I walked away from this show. So honestly, I'm not mad that we're not getting a whole lot of Maurice, because I really don't want to talk about his ass. But we just gonna call a thing a thing. I just don't believe half of nothing that's going on this show, y'all. They had been messing around. That's why he didn't bring his slow ass to Huntsville and parole, of course. Sonny knew what she was doing. Right. Me too, Cajun. I used to love Maurice. Y'all knew I did. Y'all know I used to love them Scott brothers. So then in the last episode, we see Nell having the family meeting with the kids. I've already talked about this whole money thing. Again, either Nell has put herself in a really bad situation and she's scared to tell Chris how bad it is, or this is a lie. Because her affect just, I don't know, it was weird to me. It read really weird. Either she got herself in a real bad situation and she is scared to say how bad it is, or it's a lie. So then they decided they're going to go to family therapy. So y'all know my man coming back. They agreed to go to family therapy with Dr. Y'all know his name, child. Y'all know I can't think. I can see it. Francis. They agreed to go to family therapy with Dr. Francis. But then it looked like she don't want to go to damn therapy. She told them, y'all can go to therapy. I don't need no therapy. The people that say they don't need therapy are probably the first people that need to be in the door. They probably need a frequent flyer account. The person that say they don't need it is usually the person that needs it the most. What about Chris's real daughter? Is she going? Hell no, she ain't going. She ain't going. She probably need to go. I love Dr. Francis. He's the only good character they have. Yeah, because Dr. Francis don't be reading no script. He be telling them people they crazy as hell. Off the hook and some more stuff. But anyway, y'all, that's pretty much the episode. I don't really have nothing else for y'all. That was pretty much how the episode went. It looks like they get ready to go on their little cash trip, child. So we'll talk about that this weekend at some point. I'm going to see Janet Saturday, so it's gonna be late this week too, child. Because I ain't gonna be here. I ain't gonna be here. Because I ain't gonna be here. Okay. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll talk to y'all later. Mwah. Peace.